meantime, we're going to talk to you about the race for the White House. Hillary Clinton spending a second day off the campaign trail to rest.
That's right. But she says her pneumonia diagnosis is no big deal.
Mike Emanuel is live in Chappaqua, New York. Hey, Mike.
Brian, Steve Ainsley, good morning to you. Even Democratic allies say it is not the cough, it is the cover-up that has made this a major issue for Hillary Clinton and her campaign. Her campaign team only came clean that she is suffering from pneumonia after this video was released of her stumbling, struggling, leaving the 9/11 memorial in New York on Sunday. But Clinton insisted in a phone interview last night that she did not faint.
No, I didn't. I felt dizzy. And I did lose my balance for a minute. But once I got in, once I could sit down, once I could cool off, once I had some water, I immediately started feeling better. And my daughter lives nearby, so I went over to her apartment and, spent time with her and my grandchildren.
Hillary Clinton is off the campaign trail again today, and the rest of this week is really up in the air. She is being replaced out on the campaign trail by her husband, former President Bill Clinton, who will appear at several finance events in California and do a speaking engagement in Las Vegas. Clinton and her key aides acknowledge they could have handled this pneumonia issue better.
If we weren't fast enough, I've talked to my staff. We take responsibility for that. But the information is out there. You can't say the same thing about Donald Trump.
Clinton now says she will release more medical information, though even fellow Democrats are saying this is a rough patch for the Clinton campaign just 8 weeks from Election Day. Ainsley, Steve, Brian.
All right, Mike Emanuel, thank you very much. We heard Hillary Clinton talk about how she got into the Scooby van and she felt better immediately. That's why they took her to Chelsea's apartment. It's interesting, on the cover of and that's the video that now, has caused all of this. On the cover of the New York Post today, where they've got kind of a modified version of the operation game. Look right there. According to the New York Post, she skipped the ER to dodge the media. That's according to the New York Times, or rather the New York Post. Apparently, what happens is protocol for Social Secret Service is to, if something like this happens, to take the person, the protectee, to a level 1 trauma unit. And they were going to take him to the hospital, but a campaign aide instead said, you know what, let's not do that. And instead they took her to Chelsea's apartment, even though they broke protocol. Because
it seems like an irresponsible risk to take with somebody.
Well, to dodge the media. They didn't want to do a lot of explaining about what was the matter with her.
But what are they, doctors? How do they know if the woman just passed out? She seemed to be out on her feet. She basically got tossed into a car, and then some aide decides we'll go to Chelsea's.
You have to understand what's going through her mind. She probably said, I don't want to be seen at the hospital. That would not look good. Don't do that. Let's go to Chelsea's. Let's get the doctors over to Chelsea's apartment to look at me there.
See, my whole thing would be survival
this
first.
Position for her entire adult career. She is not going to let one thing ruin it all for her. That's my opinion.
Right, but we're not talking about a bad party. We're talking about her survive. I mean, if I'm somebody there without medical training and I see a friend of mine or a coworker or my boss passed out, I would say it's not up to me to bring her to her daughter's apartment. I got to make sure you're okay.
Well, you know what, Brian? Maybe this has happened a lot before. I know yesterday they were trying to put out the fire, and the campaign admits, yeah, we kind of blew this whole thing. Andrea Mitchell asked Brian Fallon, her spokesperson, did she lose consciousness? And he said, I don't think so. Don't think so.
Hillary called into Anderson Cooper last night, and she said this about what she recalled from the incident.
How often has this happened?
Oh, I think really only twice that I can recall. It is something that has occurred a few times over the course of my life, and I'm aware of it and usually can avoid it.
Well, Bill Clinton interviewed with Charlie Rose, and he said, Charlie Rose was asking him, does this indicate that your wife has some more serious medical issues? And he said, it's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to all of her doctors, because frequently, and then he walked that back. He said, well, actually not frequently, rarely, but on more than one occasion over the last many, many years, the same sort of thing has happened to her when she got severely dehydrated.
Yeah, in the big picture, they say pneumonia is not a big deal. People get over it on a regular basis. Walking
Her
pneumonia,
type of pneumonia, walking pneumonia,
is not a big deal, but seeing somebody pass out like that in weather that is not considered suffocating summer weather, and where no one else seemed to be having these problems, is
Here's
certainly
the thing.
noteworthy.
We all wish her the best. We want her to get better, but we want transparency. And when you're going to the polls to vote for the next president of the United States, someone who's going to lead this country and lead our troops into wars, possibly, and have that capability, then you want to make sure they're healthy, and you want to make sure we have transparency and that things are not brushed under the rug.
Sure. Well, it's just like the email server. You know, she has a penchant for privacy. She wants to keep things private. Unfortunately now, because she tried to keep all this private, even though she knew on Friday she had pneumonia, it looks like she's hiding something.
So Donald Trump was on our show yesterday, and he did not say anything except nice things about please get better, Hillary, hope to see you at the debate. But he does have a huge problem with what she said about the people that are going to vote for Donald Trump, calling them 50% of his voting base, she labeled them deplorable.
A basket of deplorables. Well, he was on stage down in Asheville, North Carolina yesterday. You know what he did? He asked his supporters, the so-called deplorables, as Hillary Clinton has labeled half of them, to come on up stage so folks could meet him. And here they are.
My wife and I represent non-deplorable people.
Do I look deplorable?
No.
What? I am a wife, a mother, I work full time, and I am voting for Donald Trump. And Mrs. Clinton, you can go home.
After all the horrible scandals that Hillary Clinton's been involved in, and then she has the gall to call us deplorable. It's unbelievable.
As a black female American, I say let's get out and support Donald Trump.
Oh, they're really running with us. You know, the memes have been pretty funny. People on social media have been posting things on Etsy, which is that site where you can go and buy merchandise. They're selling things like T-shirts that say...
Coffee mugs like this one right here.
Exactly. Fraternity of the Basket of Deplorables. They're also... Look at this one. These are bracelets, I think. Love Deplorable. Here's another T-shirt.
I'm a Trump deplorable.
Yeah, and I think they do some play on Expendables, don't they?
Yeah, they do. On the movie The Expendables, the Deplorables...
Yep.
Donald Trump Jr. tweeted that out, so go to his Twitter to see that. We'll try to bring you that later in the show. There are also some that say, make deplorables great again, proud to be a deplorable, team deplorable, proud member of the basket of deplorables.
So she's going to be off for the next few days, and Bill Clinton's going to be going in her spot. He's going to go out to Los Angeles to some celebrities, I think Seth MacFarlane's house, where
Family guy.
Yeah, they're going to go to their mansion and get tens of thousands of dollars for donors, because she is out of money. I'm being sarcastic. How much money does one woman need?
So, and Bill Clinton is stepping in for her until she gets better.
Yep.